Hello my friend and welcome to my channel. Today I've got a happy birthday Roxanne at Roxanne_Misty. This is an Instagram collaboration hosted by Tinkerbell 1970s and Carolyn Archer. I'm starting with this Wet n Wild clear. It's just clear. I love this stuff. I'm going to put a little bit of this down on my mat. I'm going to do 6 decals just in case one doesn't turn out right or, I need more. I just like to do it all. I would rather have extra than get into it and be disappointed when I don't have enough. Now, I know this clear is kind of hard to see on the mat, but it works, It works quite well, actually. I might have to get me some more of this stuff because I'm loving it for decal making. You can see I'm kind of separating them out so that they'll be like separated. This is when I go to peel them up. I'll be using TTYL 028. I'm going to use this flower image here. And I'm going to stamp it out in Bases Loaded lacquer on the black. I've got my AliExpress stamper and my beauty scraper out today. So here we go. We're going to get going on this. I will have a link or a list of participants down in the description box of all of those that participate on Instagram. I don't know if many of them will do videos or if they do videos on YouTube, but if you want to check out all the other lovely manicures, you can do that over on the Instagrams. So I'm just plopping a bunch of these out onto the mat on that little sticky spot. And now that I'm at the last one, I'm going to use that excess polish that was on my scraper to get this last image. I'm having to pick it up so that I can see where the shiny spot is. I am going to clean this plate off with pure acetone and my little mat. Get everything all tidy. And there we go. I am going to top these images with the smudge-free top coat from Maniology. I'm a little heavy-handed, so I didn't want to run the risk of messing these up. You guys have seen me do it before. Anybody remember the turtle nail that I messed up and I couldn't quit talking about? Yeah. So we're going to let that dry. I'll be using my What's Up Nails Mermaid Zero brush. It's a very, very tiny detail brush. And I'll be using these Bases Loaded lacquers. Stanley, you are truly one chromosome away from being a potato. And then Heat Seeking Stretch Pants. And here we've got this gorgeous. Her mother was a 2. And then the purple is Why Paint the Peacock. And this green is You Remember My Lying Vicious Toad of a Mother. And then the yellow is It's Pfeiffer, the P is not silent. So I'm going to show you me doing one of these, maybe a little bit more, we'll see. And I started off trying to count and make sure that I had enough, to where I got all the colors on each flower. Y'all, in the end, I just ended up starting to slap colors in, just as long as they wasn't like the same and touching each other, I was okay with it, because it just got too dizzying for me. This does take a while. This is not nail art that the faint of heart would want to do, I'm sure. But junkies like me, and maybe you, we get into this stuff. For me, it's extremely relaxing. I mean, it is a lot. I'm doing 6 of these. And I have even sped this part of it up just a smidge. So, it does take a while. But the thing I love about making decals like this is, number one, you know what you've got before you commit to putting it on your nail. And also, you don't run the risk of bumping one of the nails and messing it up. And I don't know, there's a lot of good stuff with making decals. You can walk away from them. In fact, I'll just go ahead and tell you this. I fill these decals in, and I put a coat of it's the clear from the Dollar Tree called Super Dry. I put a coat of that over the top of them, and I let them dry overnight. Yeah, overnight. And didn't get to them until the next afternoon, and I'll show you how I kind of rehydrated them so that they wouldn't be crunchy decals. We don't want crunchy decals. Crunchy decals do not work so good. I am really liking this brush. I can't remember who recommended it to me, but I really do love it. I like my other, I mean, I've got one from Maniology that I really like too, but you know, you get the new toy and you just find yourself drawn to it, and that's how I am with this brush. Right now it's what I'm hooked on, and it helps that it keeps sitting out on my table and has never gotten put away. So anyway, so the theme for the collab was colorful. Bright, colorful manicures. And for me, nothing beats neons for bright. So I just, and I couldn't pick just like one or two colors. So I just went with the rainbow of colors, just the whole collection. And when those polishes were released, they were actually released under Braves Diva. But now Braves Diva is Bases Loaded Lacquer. So I don't want there to be any confusion. I want y'all to, you know what polishes I'm using. But if you don't have these in your collection, you could use, if you want this look, you could use whatever neons. You don't have to use exactly what I'm using. It's, and you don't even have to use neons. You could do a bright manicure with just some bright polishes. Either way you want to do it. So I'm kind of going in and filling in some spots. It's funny because when you get to working on one of these, it just starts, I would find spots that I missed, and I'm like, how did you miss that? But you do. It's that way. I'll be using SB9 also. I decided to do, I didn't realize that it had leaves in it. Not that I'm going to get very much of that on my little short nails, but I wanted to go ahead and fill it in anyway. And I wanted it to be distinctive from the flower, and since I'd already used the green in the flowers, I needed a different green. And the SB9 is, I think, a small batch. I think that's what she's naming them. So here we go. I'm fixing to put them away for the night. I've got my super dry, and I'm going to just brush over them, thin little coat, just kind of seal them in, smooth them down, all that good stuff, you know, just to protect them some. So here we go. We've almost got them all done. And it looks like I'm globbing it on there, but I promise you I end up smoothing it, because I'm smearing that all the way from the top to the bottom to the edge, everywhere. And I do set these aside for the evening. Now, here we go to rehydrate them. And to do that, I'm brushing over all of them with that Wet n Wild Clear. And I'm going to let these sit while I get ready, get my nails painted. So they are going to sit for just a little while. I couldn't give you a time, however long it takes me to paint a base color on my nails and get that to kind of dry down some. I don't know, 20 minutes, something like that. But, you know, just test it with your finger, tap on it. If it doesn't feel like wet, 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 you're good. So here is Bases Loaded Lacquer Low and Away. It's our foundation base coat. And look how pretty that looks on the nail. It just makes the nail look so pretty. I could wear it just like that. And then I'm going to do Posy Was Out, also by Bases Loaded Lacquer. I'm going to do this as my base color, just in case anything peeks through. I didn't want to go with a stark white, so we're going to do a couple of coats of Posy Was Out and do our decals over that. I'll be topping that with I&M Out the Door, a quick dry top coat. And I'm going to let this manicure dry for just a little bit. Take some pictures, ching ching. And then now I'm going to start pulling these up off the mat. I use my little cuticle tool to get them started, and then I just pull them up. And I am going to get my little snippy scissors out and trim some of this down. I could have trimmed a lot more down, but I wasn't sure what part I wanted to use. So there we go with my little thread nipper scissors. that mess out of the way. Alrighty. Now, I did let my manicure dry, so I'm going to use the Get a Grip. Just, y'all, this is a collab. I don't want to mess this up, you know. So I'm doing like a dry brush coat of Get a Grip over this nail. Very, very dry brush. Just getting it a little tacky. I gotta figure out which side to flip it on. Guess it doesn't really matter. So we're just gonna lay it on the nail. Try to get the design where we want it. And I'm pressing down with my finger all the way around the cuticle and the tip of the nail to make it stick. And now I'm going to snip some more of this decal off. I don't like big globs of cleanup when I'm doing that. So I'm just trimming, mushing with my finger. And then I'm going to go around the top a little bit too to trim some of that excess. There we go. Looking good so far. Now, see, I want y'all to notice how short my nails are. They're super short. And this manicure still looks wicked cool on it. So, ladies, if you've got short, nubby nails, like what I'm sporting right here, bling them out. Do it up, man. Don't be afraid to do nail art because you've got short nails. I love nail art on short nails. Long nails, it don't matter. I just, you know, I think they look better painted than naked, short or long. So I can tell by this that some of these decals are upside down, or at least one of them is, because one of them's shiny and the rest of them aren't. So I'm thinking this one I'm doing right here I put on upside down, but to be honest, in the end, totally can't tell. I'm going to get up under there and get that glob off and try to melt this down. I do go around the edges and the tip to kind of tap and melt that decal to the nail. It works so well. It does make it adhere so much better. And I'm doing a little bit of cleanup here. And that is my Maniology cleanup brush. I like using it for decals. It's got a little bit of stiffness to the brush, which helps. There we go. There it is. Looking so much better. Ta-da! There we go. I am going to top this with the smudge-free top coat. That's how I did all of them. So I'm going to do that with this. And once it is totally dry, I'm going to also top it with my Posh Quick Dry Top Coat. We're going to seal this one in and call it done. And don't forget to go check out those other ladies on Instagram. And happy birthday, Roxanne. Here's my swatch photo. I hope you enjoyed this one. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I want to thank you for watching. Until next time, be good to yourself.